We're James and Angela, and this is our newly built, renovated home in East Brisbane. We've just moved in. We're very happy to be here.
We were very specific about wanting to be in East Brisbane, and even more particular, we wanted this street and a northeast aspect. I think very much the motivation to get here was our needs were changing. Our boys had grown up, albeit two of them are still with us from time to time. So we did want to design a home that accommodated our needs as well as theirs, but very much being close to our office and being close to restaurants and amenity was very much part of why we did this project. I think one of the things that needs to be pointed out is that there was a high level of complexity with this particular renovation, and that was to do with the constraints of the site being 354 square metres. And also too, we had a sewer connection that was under the house, which really did involve sort of some planning and some intricacy to get around it. What I really felt talking to Chris and Jacob was that they were refreshing, they were really up for the project. And I just liked the way that they were clear in their communication, very transparent about what we were facing. It was a really refreshing approach from two very good quality young builders.
Right from the beginning, with Chris and Jacob, we found that their level of communication with us was excellent. We knew what we wanted. We had very firm ideas of what we wanted to do on this site, and they were up for the challenge and so happy to working with us. We also use an architect, Renee Dunn, who's right from the very beginning got on well with Koda Construct. Jacob and Chris worked so brilliantly with Renee, and we found that the results that we were getting from their teamwork were excellent. So that made our whole process seamless.
What really did impress me with Chris and Jacob's team was the fact that all their tradespeople also were excellent communicators and very willing to get on board and solve problems. I think the other thing that stood out as well is that this certainly was an exciting project for us, but you could see that all of Jacob and Chris's team and all of their subcontractors also shared the dream, they shared the vision, and in a lot of ways, they could see how beautiful it was going to be before we even could.
I can also say from my personal experience that I found Jacob and Chris and the whole team at Koda Construct willing to communicate with me on everything. We let them go to manage this project, which they did to an exceptional standard. But whenever we needed to know, what we needed to know, what we wanted to know, they were always willing to share. Whenever we came on site, they all welcomed us and were just so hospitable and answered our questions to, as James said, an A+ standard.
For me, the respect paid to the original cottage and the way that has been rebuilt and repurposed, and it effectively floats above the modern renovation. I love that. I think coming inside to the house, it's hard to ignore the wine cellar being in the entrance. And really, for Jacob and Chris, who hadn't really built that type of facility in the past, they did a stunning job. For me too, I think the window and glazing schedule, the height, the expanse of it, really sort of creates the sense of space indoor and outdoor. And finally, the outdoor fireplace, it shines.
I agree with everything James says, and for me, perhaps the highlight is my lounge, kitchen, dining area. It feels so calm and so welcoming, and I love the ambience of that. My favourite part of the home though has to be my walk-in robe, without a doubt. I love walking in there every morning, my beautiful carpet and all my concealed wardrobes. My Koda Construct built me a specialised area for my shoes, and it's just so luxurious and peaceful. I truly love that area of this home.
It's interesting too, listening to the comments of the people that live in Geelong Street. A lot of them watched the build. They noticed how organised they were, noticed how programmed things were, and could also see the quality of construction. So, you know, from those looking outside in, they've got 10 out of 10. I think going back to what we said earlier, their ability to take on a challenge, their high level of communication and the full service from their entire team really, from my point of view, gives them a massive endorsement.
We are already recommending Koda Construct to our friends and our family. There is no doubt their quality of service and communication is exceptional. Their energy and enthusiasm with this renovation was infectious, and it made the whole process really enjoyable. So without a doubt, Jacob and Chris, as two young progressive builders, they share the dream with the owners, and that's a really unique thing. Our process has been, as I said before, seamless, so without a doubt we are recommending Koda Construct and are excited to see where their journey takes them. And with no doubt, James and I will use Koda Construct again.
It feels fantastic. I mean, you'd have to say you look forward to coming home, and clearly in terms of its objective to create a space for Angela and I, and also a separate space for our boys, but also equally allowing us to come together, it's worked perfectly. Also taking the design approach, we really wanted something here that wasn't contrived, something that was modern but also authentic, and really what you do feel here is that the design and the flow will live on for many, many years.
We are loving living in this home. It has everything that we set out to achieve. Our architect and Chris and Jacob have created exactly what we wanted here, which is a home where James and I can enjoy on our own. It's calm, it's peaceful, it's serene. We can also share it with our family and our friends, and that's really important to us. There is so much complexity in this home, and there's so much practicality as well. Storage, kitchen, wine cellar, everything. We are very happy with our finished product. So, thank you again, Jacob and Chris.